Hello, everyone. My name is Ashlee Haze, and I am so excited about this episode that you are about to see. I got the chance back in December of 2021 to pull up to East Atlanta and interview literally one of the best producers in the world. He is probably on the Billboard charts as we speak. I got to pull up with none other than Slim.wav, and we got to talk about him co-producing the Summer Walker album at that time. We got to talk about the music industry. Y'all, please stay tuned for a up-close interview with Slim.wav. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Modern Renaissance Podcast with Ashlee Haze. I am so excited. This interview is so long overdue. I get to interview super producer, songwriter, all-around musician, comedian, video producer, but he happens to be my friend.
Yes,
I'd love to introduce you all to Slim.wav. What up, Slim?
What's up, people? I'm Slim.wav. As she said all those beautiful things about me, however, she's also an amazing person too. She's a poet. She's a philanthropist. She's a grant writer.
There you go, putting out my business out there.
Not too many people can do that or have the bandwidth to do that. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Slim. So I know a lot about you. So Slim and I met. I was doing the math. It's been 13 years that we met.
Wow.
It's so wild.
13 strong.
13 strong. We were living in a Southwest Atlanta house. And this cat comes in and we had instruments everywhere and played every single one. And I was like, who is this guy right here? I was like, he's dope. So tell me, I don't know what happened before. You're originally from Augusta, right?
Augusta, Georgia.
So how do you get from Augusta to Atlanta where you meet 3 other musicians at Georgia State and y'all start a band called the Band of Brothers? So get me the before. How do you even get into music?
So I got into music because my dad was a jazz drummer back when I was young, and short story on that, he played drums for a jazz band, and I would always try to go and play for the band. And one day he let me sit in. I did terrible, obviously, because I was young and didn't really know how to play, but it was growing pains. But after that, he used to do a lot of work for people being in the army and stuff. So he went to a lady's house. And I think she had just divorced her husband or something like that. So she's like, I'll give you all of these instruments for $25. Me and my husband are no longer.
Wow.
And she sold his stuff. So that was a guitar, a bass guitar, drums, keyboard. And I got all of that as a young kid and was just my dad was like, he just put it in the room. He was like, whichever one you like, just go for it. But he knew I liked drums. But eventually I started to migrate to the other ones.
And you just pick them up.
I just pick them up.
Do you get any classical training, any formal
Church.
lessons?
Church. I say it all the time. Church is the best experience for any musician. At least, church in 2000s, 90s, you know what I mean? Now church has kind of evolved a little different to where, for the most part, you're playing one genre, you know what I mean?
Okay. Sure.
But growing up, we played literally every genre in church, from blues to R&B. And you may not think it's R&B, but it's musically it's R&B. To salsa or Latin music. It's literally in all church music. All of those genres are in church.
Yep, absolutely. So you grow up in church, you play in church, you sort of perfect these instruments. Mm-hmm. How do you get to Atlanta?
So I graduated school in 2008. I graduated high school in 2008, where I was in band all 4 years of high school. And when I graduated, I wanted to go to Berkeley, but I was a little unsure of what it meant to go to Berkeley, and I wanted to get a scholarship. A lot of my friends was like, yo, if you apply, I promise you can get a full scholarship. But I don't think I believed in myself enough at that time to really try and to go for it. So I opted out and was like, I'm gonna just go somewhere close to home, because then I can come back home on the weekends and be with my family and stuff. So I went to the Atlanta Institute of Music.
I don't think I knew that part, so I'm glad I asked. So you go to Atlanta Institute of Music. Do you finish there? You just do a year or two?
Well, the school is a year.
Oh, okay.
It's only a year, so
okay.
I went there for a year, and I think I owe some money on my tuition, and they don't let you they don't let you complete out unless, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you pay them, which, you know, it is what it is. So I owed money, so I didn't even get to do my last test. I only had one more test to like exit out
Wow.
of the school and get my little, you know, certificate or whatever, but I didn't. I ended up still doing classes afterwards, but they were like a Wednesday class or like live performance just to help out, and that's where I met my friend Josh B.S.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Josh was also in the house. It's Josh, Sherrod Allen,
Mm-hmm.
Mo Dre,
Yes, sir.
Jordan, who was
Mm-hmm.
a baby at the time. Can you believe Jordan was like
16,
15
15,
years
yeah.
old?
We playing in clubs.
And I am a poet slamming in Atlanta, and I
Mm-hmm.
just meet these guys, and I'm like, oh, they seem cool, like weird, like me. So we get there, and then things just kind of like the story kind of starts to pick up the pace.
Yeah.
So through my college years, y'all had started playing local clubs. What was that? Was it Local Luna?
Yeah, shit. A lot of people don't even know it was more than local. We played at least one club every day of the week.
Wow.
At
So
one point, I say 5 days a week. At one point, we were playing at least like 5 nights a week at different clubs. But Local Luna was like our bread and butter. Local Luna was like our claim to fame. You know what I mean?
yeah.
After when we first played there, it was like the owner wanted us there for like one Sunday out of the month. Then after we did one Sunday, they was like, "Yo, we gotta have you guys back for another Sunday." So we did 2 Sundays, and then from there on, it was like, "All right, y'all got it. You know, you can just
y'all own
take it."
this night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we did that for like maybe 2 years, 2 or 3 years, and became like really popular around the city for doing, you know, covers and stuff. So
Yep. So I remember Local Luna, and then y'all formally start Band of Brothers, and
yep.
y'all start writing together. And so after that, that's why I said it picks up the pace. So then y'all collectively work with Jadena, is that right?
Well, kind of. It's kind of like that. So we did Kevin Ross. Kevin Ross was
Okay.
like our
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
tour. And when we did Kevin Ross, that was, you know, super successful, whatever. We traveled from one side of the earth to the next side of the earth in a 15-passenger Sprinter.
Wow.
Tough. We took one of the seats out. We took one,
Woo!
yeah. We took one of the seats out. So it wasn't as bad. So we just, you know, making it happen. So after we get back from that tour, then we started to play with an artist named Rory.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
And Rory was the artist that we really ran it up with. We did like every TV show possible, minus like, you know, the bigger ones, but you know, we did the MTVs and the VH1s and all
Yep.
that stuff and BBC and traveled the entire world, you know, playing music. So after Rory, things kind of took an abrupt halt because we stopped playing for Rory because management, you know, they were trying to go a
Yeah.
different direction. So after we stopped playing for Rory, we kind of was just at a standstill, and we were just like either playing at church or just doing gigs here and there, solo or whatever. And then I started to play for an artist named Roman. Yeah, Roman John Arthur. And from there, literally right after that, the guy started playing for Jadena, which was Jordan and Dre. So they started playing for Jadena, and we just ran it up from there. You know, we were separated, but we were still together. You
Yeah.
know, but at the same time, still making our own music and stuff, and trying to push past, you know, what we were hired to do, and really just get out our own creativity.
Okay. Okay. So then, what do you think was the defining moment for your now relatively newer production or full time production career? What moment were you like, I can do this? This is what I need to be doing?
As far as production or like
Production.
musician.
Both. Give me both.
So as far as like musicians concerned, like once I started playing with Black, because after I played with Roman, there was a little quiet moment for me, and then Black's management, LVRN, shout out to the LVRN home squad. They hit me up. It was like, yo, would you like to play for Black? And this was like maybe 3 years ago
Mm-hmm.
on what day is that? Black Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
But I couldn't do it. I think I had to do something else. So I played for him after that. But at that moment, I was like, oh, yeah, I can definitely sustain this. And he was kind of like, kind of coming into the game. And then we ran it up, you know, traveled the world and stuff. But that was definitely a defining moment. I was like, I can definitely sustain a life being a musician. The turn from being a musician to being a producer was content, man. I used to like put these videos out and for years, but I had like maybe my second one went viral on Facebook where I had like 100,000 views. But then after that, I didn't really capitalize on or monetize, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. What do I do next? You know what I mean? So after that, I just release content here and there, but nothing enough for people to like lock me in as whatever the content I was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Because that was always my fear. I didn't want people to like, yo, oh, that's a talk box guy. You know what I mean?
Because you do so many things too.
Yeah. So basically, what I did, I just kept doing covers every now and then. I put them out in little spurts and then more spurts. But then recently, the last spurt I did kind of got me and pushed me in a whole another direction,
yeah, it did. There was one in particular.
Yeah, the Drake joint.
The Drake joint.
I did this Drake cover and he reposted it on his main page, and my follows went crazy. Mad producers started to like follow me and stuff, and then the label that I had already been working with for years was like, yo, let me let's see what you could do. So my first situation they gave me was to produce an entire Christmas album.
Yep, and you did that.
Yeah.
And did that. So then we get to last week. Last week, Summer Walker's album dropped. This is the part, if you know me, I've probably said this to you like 3 times. Like, did you listen to Summer Walker? Mm-hmm. Did you listen to these particular tracks? You land 4 placements on Summer Walker's new album.
Yeah, and to be honest, it was more like 18.
Wow.
And I say that because at first, when I was brought in by London,
yep,
London literally had us like at touching every track.
Yeah, session musician. Yeah.
But no, he didn't. He wasn't. It wasn't even on no session musicians, because most times session musicians, when producers work with session musicians, they're like, "Yo, play this, play that, play that." Sure. But he was like, he was graceful enough to be like, "Yo, man, whatever you hear, put it down, and we'll see. We'll see
freedom. That's dope.
Gave us the freedom." So shout out to London for real. So he was like, "Yo, man, whatever you hear, just go crazy, and gift of God comes through, and I just do my thing." And most of the stuff stuck. It was cool, but then obviously the turmoil kind of happened between London and Summer. Yeah. So that's when the direction of how the project was being headed was kind of changed up a little bit, which kind of left me weird, because I'm like, dang, I'm not really, I don't have anything to do with the personal side of any of that stuff. But
right, for sure.
But I still rock with everybody. You know what I mean? Because I don't really burn bridges like that, and so. Then on the back end, LVRN's management kind of came back and was like, "Yo, Slim, could you touch this? Could you touch this? Let's finish this project up. Let's finish that up. Let's do that," which happened to get me, 4, placements on there.
And so I want to talk a little bit about how you come to produce Sierra's Prayer.
Oh, wow.
Because that's every time I talk to, especially women, I talk to women about the album, they're like, "I love Sierra's Prayer."
Yeah. So I'm not gonna hold you. That was like last minute, like right before the album dropped.
Yeah.
Like when I say clutch, like if the album's dropping in 3 days, they was like, "Yo, could you do this today?"
Whoa.
Yeah. And the thing with that was, one of LVRN's CEOs, Justice, is like he texts, whenever he hits me, it's always something crazy.
Yeah.
It's like like all that where he's like, "Yo, what you doing? Meet me in the back of the bar with a ladder, some peanut butter, and the Pampers.
Drop what you doing."
And I'd be like, dang. So he just texted me. He was like, "Yo, could you do this for me?" And I was like, "What is it?" He was like, "We're doing this song called Sierra's Prayer." And I immediately laughed. I was like, "Yo, that is so fire. These niggas are brilliant."
Yep. Terrific.
Because I was like, it's so many people that love the thought of a Sierra's Prayer.
Yes,
so when he told me that, I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, I got you." And he sent me her audio of it. So I then the next day got up with Sean Garrett and my boy Dose. He's a really fire engineer. My boy
casually with Sean Garrett.
Yeah, Sean Garrett's the GOAT. I pulled up at his house, and I whipped my keyboard out, my laptop, and we just scored it out to make it feel good. I left there and not knowing if it was gonna be a thing or not, but I left there and he was like, "Yo, you killed it. Yeah, it's beautiful." And I was like, "Oh wow, cool."
Yep. And that's typical Slim, to just go in there and be like, "All right, what are we doing? Let's try it, see if it works," and then for it to be a hit. So I am super proud of you just for all the work you've done. I want to say that, like, just watching the trajectory is crazy. Like, it's one thing to have homies and for y'all to dream together, but then to start like making it there and then start like meeting those benchmarks, it's like really, really, really dope to be a part of.
An amazing Black woman songwriter named Nisha.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Nisha is fire, and also one of my favorite writers, like hands down. I'm not even saying like woman or man
Yeah.
writers. I'm
Just
saying
like
like
favorite writer. Yeah.
favorite writer, Jazzy.
Yes. Okay.
Instagram, Jazzy Dope, or Dope by Accident.
Yep.
Man, she's such an amazing person, amazing spirit, amazing just gift. Like she hears directly from God. You know what I mean?
Yep.
However, like you said, there's a misrepresentation of like women in the industry. And honestly, I think that's changing. I feel like the leaves are changing, man, because people are understanding that women really run the world. Like you can fuss and try to be on some male dominant stuff all you want, but the reality of it is women really run the world. Because without women, this would be a wild world.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I have to agree with you.
But I think the leaves are changing because now I'm starting to see like so many, different influential women, specifically black women, because I feel like that's also another category umbrella under what we're talking about. Because of course, white women been subconsciously or are running around in the industry doing stuff they ain't got no business doing because they don't really know. But black women in specific, man, in particular, they're finding their way inside the industry, and I feel like that's gonna be an amazing time once it becomes fully infiltrated. For instance, my girl, she just got a new job at Spotify, which is amazing because she's
exciting. That's dope.
She's telling me like all her experiences and stuff, and I'm like, man, like perspective is really wild, because you can only go off of your own perspective.
Yep.
So hearing the stuff that
in the room is different.
Being the stuff that she hears in these meetings and stuff is like, it's very insightful to know like, man, these people really don't know sometimes, you know what I mean? So to have the representation of a black woman is amazing, because it's just what it is, man. We're God's creation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
I feel like the times are changing. It's just gonna take more men that ain't trying to smash.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, you done said something there. You done said something right there.
I think it's gonna take more men that ain't trying to smash. Cause I feel like generally, like especially for attractive women that are good at what they do, like
it's so tough.
I can only imagine. I have so much empathy for y'all because I just know, like I've seen it happen firsthand. Like a woman comes in the studio, she's good at what she does. Just
came to work, came to clock in.
Yeah, just want to exist and do her thing, and poke her chest out in the session or whatever it is that she's good at doing. And guys always gotta.
We could say.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
And guys always gotta, try to pull up, you know what I mean, or try to smash on the side, which then leaves the woman kind of like, dang, what, can I even work with you? You know what I mean? Because now it's like.
Because now
if
it's
I don't do it,
right?
Now if I don't do it, you probably not gonna give me the opportunity. You know what I mean? But which now I feel like is an amazing thing within the industry. Now women are taking head roles, so now it takes a power dynamic. It takes a power dynamic. It's like now if you have the answer, if your CEO is a black woman and she hearing that you out here wilding out,
got to be accountability.
And that's the thing.
Where there has not been in this industry.
Man, if I ain't learned nothing else from watching people's mistakes is accountability. Obviously, I made my mistakes too. Sure. And the name of that game is accountability. But for the male perspective, I feel like we have a lot. We've learned a lot and we have a lot to learn because I can't speak for everybody. But we have a lot to learn when it comes to dealing in a professional space with women.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a thoughtful thing to say and to witness, because the trouble I have with the industry is a lot of times people see it and don't say nothing.
Yeah.
They see it and don't advocate. So thank you for that. So busy guy, right? Like you're from coast to coast, sometimes from country to country. At your busiest, if you can remember, like how many shows have you done in a year? What's like your highest number? Can't remember.
Yeah. I can't even gauge because I don't be counting them all.
And so I would ask the same about songs, but I imagine you cannot count the sessions, songs you've been in.
Songs I've done, probably well over 1,000. However, songs that actually make it out, probably 10% of that. Okay. And when I say 10% of that, I don't mean 100. I mean like maybe 60.
Yep. That makes sense.
and that's not all commercial.
That makes sense.
So that's like, homies in the city,
That makes sense.
my stuff or whatever, or stuff I do with my friends, you know what I mean? So
How do you balance it? How do you balance doing like industry stuff, but still working with like people who you've developed relationships with here?
passion.
Yeah. Do what you want to do. Do what you like
Passion,
to do.
yeah. If I'm not moved to do it, I'm not pressed to do it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And that kind of creates conflict for me because sometimes I'm not moved to do stuff for my friends. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, that could be tough.
So, like, for instance, I have a couple friends like, yo, I want to do this, I want to do that. But then I know they're not really dedicated to it. They just want to do something. You know what I mean? Because either they've been down too long to the point where they're like, yo, I just want to make a move.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of times acting out of that emotion and not following up with it becomes a waste of time. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It puts you right back in the same
Back where
place.
you were. So a lot of times
Strategic.
it's discernment on what to take
Yes.
on and what to not take on from my own mental health. And I go hard for my friends, but at the same time, I got to know they're going hard for themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real.
So if it's somebody that's talented, gifted, and willing to go the mile and actually is already doing that,
Yep.
like putting those steps in motion, I'm down. I'm 100% support.
That is dope. Discernment is such a key. Major key. Major key. So when you do get time off, what are your like top 5 list of things that you like to do?
I'm so basic. I hang out with my girl or hang out with my brother and sister. Like, it's weird to even say because it's like what I do is fun.
Yeah.
So I never really consider it like, oh, I'm working. You know what I mean? But I love to be around family and friends any chance I give. They're like, yo, let's go play pool. I'm like, absolutely, I'm down.
Yeah.
I love everything fun, no matter what it is. So
always been that way.
That's yeah, that's I can't necessarily say like, yo, I love to do this for fun. I love to do anything that's fun that gets me away from what I'm doing.
Okay. That's reason enough. I am an elderly millennial, so I go to Costco when I'm not on the road. I go to Costco and bake when I'm not on the road.
That's hilarious.
I am. I'm an elderly millennial. I have to admit to it. So what are you looking forward to?
What I'm really looking forward to is really getting my foot in the door and getting those resources. When I say my foot in the door, like my foot is in the door now when it comes to the industry.
Yeah.
But the door is still small.
I see.
You know what I mean? So like I got my foot in the door and I'm like
sitting at the table.
Yeah. I'm like my hand is on the door. I just got in the room.
Just got to
I'm almost about to, leave the door cracked for a second just to, go back and tell my people like, yo, I'm coming back. It's on the way. Like, just bear with me. But I really can't wait to really put my friends in really dope positions because that makes me so happy. Like when I get to see my people like doing what they love to do, because like you gotta think about it, man. Depression is a real thing, and when you're not operating in the gift or the thing that you want to do, you get depressed and you want to stop. And that can go for the most talented people, because I know so many talented friends and family members that are amazing, but they may not know of all of these resources. And that's another thing, really resources. Because I be finding out about so many different jobs and things that you can have in this industry that nobody knows about.
And nobody knows. It is wild. I got into advertising and I was like, wait 1 second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. How much money you can make for commercials? You know how much money, and all these different gigs.
Facts.
So that is absolutely super dope. So up until this point, what has been your favorite thing that you've produced or your favorite moment?
I think my favorite thing that I've produced so far is not even out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my favorite is a Christmas song that I just did with Shelly, aka Drum. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. That's like one of my.
I'm looking forward to that because I love Shelly.
He's such an old soul, a new old soul is wild. He's an amazing guy, man. I spent like all night. He's like, yo, man, I want to do a Christmas song. And I was like, all right, cool. And then as soon as he said that, like me thinking of how he sings and the stuff that I'm doing right now, I was like, man, this is going to be crazy.
I'm ready. I'm personally ready.
So I went home and I stayed up all night. He didn't even know I was doing this. I stayed up all night making this track for it. and I stayed up like literally all night from like 10 p.m. till like 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like just working on this track. And I brought it to him the next day. He didn't know, but he was kind of like nonchalant at first. He's like, yeah, this is dope. And then I turned around, he was writing and stuff. He was like, yo, man, this is crazy. It's like he just sat in, and then once we recorded it, I sent it to him. He listened to it in the car. He's like, man, this could go crazy. This could be really fire. So
I know it's going to go crazy.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites so far.
I know it's good. And that's the thing, to bring it back around about passion. Yeah. When you're passionate about something, your energy almost seems like to supersede your body. Yeah. Like, that's the cool thing about being an artist is that when you really dig it, when you really feel it, when you really believe in it, it's like literally the whole universe is like, oh, yeah, here you go.
Yeah, literally. That's all it takes, passion and consistency. Once you're passionate about something, you're not thinking about, all right, let me clock in and do this. You're just like, yo, I really love to do this. Like, even if nobody pays me for it, like this helps my mental to do. You know what I mean? If somebody's crocheting blankets, like, man, I really love this. You know, the next thing you know, they go crazy and get a deal or something. Nice. For Johnson & Johnson or something.
And you really can. You can build a life off of your passion. I was always surprised because, like, working with y'all, I'm a sleepyhead. Again, elderly millennial, I'm in the bed by 10. Oh. These guys be like, can you meet me at the studio at 11:30? And I'm like, getting a cup of coffee. But then you get there, and again, when you believe in the moment, when you're working with guys that you respect, women that you respect, people that you respect, and dreams and work that you truly, truly believe in, really, 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 the energy changes.
Facts.
Energy changes. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Anytime and every time.
For talking to me. I'm so glad I got to do that. This will not be the last time y'all see Slim.wav. And funny enough, the theme song to this very show was produced by none other than Slim.wav. So I'm very, very happy to be on the list of people who get to work with this
for lifers
and to be homies with you.
Lifers.
To be homies. And y'all, for real, like, just to take a moment to amp you up. That's the thing about Slim. It's like when he says, my favorite part about this industry is bringing my friends into it, like, he means it. Like, I've seen Slim. He's not one of the people that get in the room where it happens and then change his phone number. I always joke, I'd be like, you gonna change your phone number? And he'd be like, I'm not going to change my phone number. At all. And just really just remaining that person and that's the quality of friendships. Like, I know that you believe in the work. And so that's really dope to be able to trust that integrity. So thank you, Slim. Y'all have gotten to meet Slim.wav up close and personal. Please remember to run it up for Slim.wav. Slim just put out his own EP, the Brown EP.
The Brown EP.
And I hear that there might be a re-release of the Brown EP.
Absolutely. There's going to be a deluxe version because the original version was an instrumental, just to get my ideas off.
Run that up at brunch. Let me tell you, it's great.
But I'm going to do a deluxe version, and the deluxe version is going to be included with all of my friends.
That's exciting.
And I have one of my friends right here that's going to be on it, so shout out to her. And we actually just recorded it, so it almost brought tears to my eyes because she did it in one take, so I could tell she really meant that thing. Or maybe she just be shooting from the hip, and she just really that good. But
working with y'all has made me
crazy.
It's made me fast, has made me good. It makes me better and sharper just to know you. So yeah, y'all run it up for Slim, run it up on the Summer Walker album, run it up on the Brown EP. Just look for Slim in the credits. Just look for Jerome Monroe Jr. in the credits.
Credits all year.
Check the credits. I want people to start doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the Modern Renaissance Podcast, where together we are learning better, doing better, going further, and getting more. I'll see y'all next time.